One thing I like to encourage my students to do was experiment. Not get in a rut, not do the same thing over and over, but do maybe the same thing enough times till you feel comfortable that you've halfway mastered that particular aspect of what you're doing. But I believe in that experimentation. I didn't like to go and see what other potters had done. I didn't look in Atlantic Monthly, Pottery, or whatever the name of the magazine would be. There's lots of magazines out. I knew some people that had made, their pots had made it into those magazines, and they had to be top notch. So I had some of them in class. In fact is, one was a teacher's aide who had made that magazine. And I'd say it had maybe thousands of entries trying to get maybe 2 or 3 pots accepted into that magazine. I didn't like to do it because I wanted to experiment myself. I didn't want to be loaded down with how do you do it. So I experimented, as you can see, experimenting with putting sculpture and pottery together, experimenting with painting portraits and pottery together. I wanted to learn as much as I could, and I want my students to learn. But I can tell you right now, if a student said, I'd like to try this, and mention something, I would come home and do that very thing in front of them and try to anticipate what problems they're going to run into. I felt it my obligation to not hold that student back and to support that student in any way he wanted to go, any direction. I encouraged cartooning, you name it. It didn't matter what that person wanted to do. I just wanted them to shoot real high and experiment enough to get really good at it. It's all right to experiment, but I think you should be sometimes accomplished. Experiment until you're an accomplished artist at that particular thing, if that's possible. Experimenting shouldn't be wasteful. You should find out what will work and won't work, and you discard those things. The things say, that never will work. I thought it would, but it won't for some reason that which you have found out.